Legendary players.
Back then, everybody loved Jordan. Everybody's huge on Michael Jordan this, Michael Jordan that. And I just didn't want to follow everybody else. I wanted to have my own favorite guy that I thought was pretty damn cool. And so that's why I chose Shawn Kemp.
And now you're winning 30% of these games, and you realize that everybody involved made the wrong decision.
The afterglow and continued
the
cultural
downfall
force
of the
iconic
Supersonics.
1996 team inspired.
The other week, my uncle stopped by, and he used to be a huge Seattle Supersonics fan back in the 90s. And I remember going out to my grandparents' house where he lived, and he was teaching me free throws and showing me all of his Supersonics basketball cards. And he's the one that I think initially kind of got me interested in basketball. And there was a new Vice documentary that just came out that I thought, wow, this would be really fun to watch and get his comments on. So that's what you're going to be watching coming up. Because you're the one that got me interested in basketball back then. I remember your Shawn Kemp cards and didn't you have a jersey too?
Oh yeah, I still do.
His? Still have it?
Still have the original Sonics jersey, and then the Sonics jersey that was more hunter green that they changed to. I can't remember if I bought a Cavs jersey when he went to the Cleveland Cavaliers or not. I don't think I did. But I used to have all of his shoes. I had the Kamikaze shoes. I
remember the shoes.
And then
basketball
I had a
shoes.
white pair that I can't remember what they were called, but I wore those for, man, I still have them. They're in my closet somewhere. I think they're falling apart. I think the glue's coming apart.
There's shoe restoration people out there.
Yeah. But man, they look huge now. I'm like, I wore those. Those are crazy. And I still got all my Shawn Kemp cards. Probably have over 1,000 still in a little lockbox safe. Probably not worth anything now, but
See what Vice has to say about him.
The 1996 NBA season marked the pinnacle of a pair of the most dominant teammates.
I thought they were going to actually upset the Bulls.
They were a cultural phenomenon.
From a standpoint of how basketball was being played at that time, at that moment, we were definitely a championship basketball team.
The Payton and Kemp dynamic, that was just, you couldn't top that.
Led by the Rain Man and the Glove.
I used to have a 6-foot poster on my wall of Shawn Kemp. I was just real tall, took up the whole length of the
We wanted to
wall.
win
Yeah.
so bad. When I thought he was messing up, I'd get on him. When he thought I was messing up, people would be in my face.
Gary Payton and Shawn Kemp. Don't get dunked on by Shawn Kemp, and don't listen to Gary Payton talk noise to you.
Yeah, those were the shoes I had.
In today's game with social media,
So what grade were you in during these years?
Shawn Kemp was a rookie in 90, 91. So I was 10. So what grade are you in when you're 10? Is that like 5th and 6th grade? Maybe middle school?
Okay.
Champions of the world!
Back then, everybody loved Jordan. Everybody's huge on Michael Jordan this, Michael Jordan that. And I just didn't want to follow everybody else. I wanted to have my own favorite guy that I thought was pretty damn cool. And so that's why I chose Shawn Kemp.
1989.
Yeah.
Plus, I thought he was a better dunker and more exciting to watch than Michael Jordan. But Michael Jordan won slam dunk contest too. He was no slouch.
Did he compete against him that year?
No. He got second place in the slam dunk competition. He lost to D. Brown, if I remember.
Huh. What year was that?
I think that was 93.
93 he was in the dunk competition?
I think so. D. Brown won it with he jumped and covered his eyes like this and flew in and dunked it and won.
Yeah. He was a good dunker.
Oh, yeah.
Kemp is joining a Supersonics team whose glory years are the distant past.
I guess he owns a restaurant up
First joining the
in
NBA
Seattle, I think, somewhere now.
in 1967. After a slow start, the team eventually wins their first NBA championship in 1979 under coach Lenny Wilkins and the guard duo of Dennis Johnson and Gus Williams. Now, the pressure was on a 6'10" teenager who never played a minute of college basketball to turn it all around. Kemp comes off the bench as a rookie, averaging almost 14
Remember one of
minutes
the
a game.
basketball cards I have tells a story about him and his cousins playing at the park, and there was those chain basketball nets, and he dunked the ball so hard that sparks
But
flew off
fans
the
and
chains.
players can already see his future as both a starter and a huge impact player for the Supersonics.
Once he got on the court, he just took over.
He was always celebrating, putting a little swag on anything that he's done.
Yeah, I remember the point.
So I seen a lot of the of Shawn, and I said he's a freak, and I wanted to play with him.
I don't know if you have NBA Jam on any of your old retro stuff. Remember NBA Jam? It was 2-on-2, and then when you make like 3 baskets in a row, they say, he's heating up, he's on fire, and then everything would burn the net, and you could do like somersault dunks and
Yeah, I
stuff.
think I remember some of that.
Yeah, it was Shawn Kemp, Gary Payton, and Detlef Shrimp you could pick from
But I didn't know if we
on
were going to
there.
really have a shot to drop.
We can make each other better.
Yeah, NBA Jam shirt.
Yeah.
Once Gary joined the ranks, it was, teams didn't know what to do.
Gary didn't really want to practice that much, so every practice was a heated discussion about him stepping on the court to join practice because he was sitting on the sideline commentating and talking trash. We usually got him out about halfway through when he ended up practicing, but it was literally every day. And thinking back, it was kind of crazy.
I didn't know that about him, that he didn't like to practice.
You had these two guys that were just so in sync. I think they were the best tandem throughout that era.
Seattle fans are witnessing an exciting evolution of pro basketball. A frenetic style where players fly towards the basket and attack the ball, especially against players like 3-time All-Star Kevin Johnson, earning Peyton the nickname, the Glove.
And I said, why they calling me the Glove? They say, because you got Kevin Johnson. You smothering him just like a glove. And next thing you know, I got one of the best nicknames ever in basketball.
And the athleticism of Kemp's dunks has fans calling him
The Rain Man.
Well, the Rain Man came on, we were doing a poster. And the
I
guy
got that
came out
basketball
there
card.
and said,
I think I remember that
we're
one.
gonna call you the Rain Man. Yeah, because you rain out of the sky with dunks. So all you do is dunking.
In the beginning, they were calling him the Man Child, and then they switched it to the Rain Man.
Well, I fell asleep that
Didn't he
night
used
and
to
I
have
woke
like
up
a
like the
username or
middle of the
something
night.
that was
I
Rain
like,
Man?
Rain Man,
Oh
Rain
yeah,
Man, like,
most of
and
my
then
shit's
he
still
hit me.
Rain Man.
And he was like, man, I like that. Shawn Kemp, the Rain Man.
The game
I got that
that we
basketball
played in
card.
was so physical. Me and Gary had the force.
Cool image.
Those 90s years it was a blast. Fans just kept coming.
In 1991, the Sonics had the fans. They had the Rain Man and the Glove. They were yet to achieve success. And Kemp and Payton's jerseys become 2 of the league's best sellers. It's a new and improved brand of Supersonics basketball.
What color was your jersey?
We did a lot
I
of
had the
switching
original, like,
and fronting
not
the
before
post
the,
and-
it was the
and
one before the
double
hunter
teaming
green,
and
you know, that
rotating.
green. It's kind of like, well, like on that card.
Such a physical
Yeah.
league. We was definitely
And
one of the
then
teams
I
that
got
would fight you.
the second one of the
Chaos.
uniform change where their hunter green and the
Mismatches.
emblem
We
changed.
scrambled a lot, and
Sonics finish out the season 27
Yeah,
and
that
15.
jersey.
That one?
Yeah.
Then lose in the semifinals to a team that would become their perennial rival, the Utah Jazz, led by Carl the Mailman Malone and John Stockton.
At this time, you got to remember there was a lot of rivals, but it was only one king rival. Tough
Did
one
you
to
hate
beat.
Utah
For
back
me
in the day?
personally, I just knew that
I didn't hate
going
them.
through
I know
Malone was gonna be a
your
tough
dad
challenge for me.
actually
It was so
was a
much things I
fan
had
of
to
Karl
work on.
Malone. He was always
We
talking
Karl
about the
Malone and
mailman,
John Stockton a lot. They took us
and
to school.
we used to give each other shit about that.
Yeah.
I think that was his team actually back in the day. I think he said he was a Utah Jazz
He doesn't do
fan.
nothing.
He always
flashy.
has to pick the opposite of you.
Yeah.
He doesn't do all of that. He didn't have a lot of points. He had probably about 14, 15,000 points. But he only averaged 12. And became a Hall of Famer. that's a basketball
Yeah,
player.
John
But
Stockton
they-
was
they
always
call us
damn good.
the true
I watched a
definition
thing
of
about
NBA
him walking
gamers is
around
that you
in
have to be
public
mentally
at
prepared just as
Disneyland,
well
and
as you
nobody
are
knew who the
physically
hell he
prepared.
was.
You know, a lot of years where-
He just
where him
was
and
never that
John
well
just
known.
beat me and Jerry up.
That's like the right level of fame to be,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
The NBA playing the two.
He had
Sometimes
a
ragged,
dream team shirt
always
on, and he even had his own
dangerous Supersonics team.
picture in the lineup.
Really?
And
Jeez.
and he asked a stranger, "Could you take a picture of me and my wife?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, oh you're a fan of the Dream Team, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm a fan."
Yeah.
That's funny.
Continues to struggle in the playoffs.
Memories at that point was just.
I remember that Matumbo holding the ball. Yeah, that was a bad
The
day for
Sonics
me.
endured their second first round playoff exit in 1995 when they lost to the Lakers.
95-96 season has the same feeling in the hearts of Seattle fans than the championships.
It's when the Bulls won, right?
It's a younger crowd.
We took him
People
all the
with
way
their
to
first taste
Game
of
7.
Basketball success in this city.
I thought we were gonna do it.
We made it through the playoffs. Struggled a bit early on against Sacramento, but then swept Houston 4-0, and ended up playing Utah in the Western Conference Finals.
Do you guys still have any basketball or baseball or football cards? I thought I gave you a whole bunch of cards back in the day. Did you sell them?
I have a tote of all my basketball stuff. Pretty sure it's in there. So I have like all my nets from my championship games and all my medals and stuff. And then I have that big book. It's like the cover of it is a basketball
With the best record in the NBA,
thing, and I have all my
full
cards in
sweep
there.
through the Eastern Conference Finals.
I even have my Jordan
Played
shoes
really
that I
well.
wore
First
that
4
year.
games, I think we're up 3-1.
Coming down to late in the fourth quarter with Kemp hitting 4 straight free throws, keeping the Sonics small lead
Is he a
alive.
good free throw shooter?
He's pretty good
Yeah.
for a big guy.
8.2 seconds left. Malone makes his way to
I think
the
he
free
was
throw
like
line.
at least
His first free
75%.
throw misses off the
Shooting.
back rim.
We'd count 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 10.
10, 9, 8, and Carmelo is flipping the ball and looking around.
I never understood why we did that, but it always messed with his head.
All of a sudden, he started rushing some free throws. The place would go crazy.
Because that's what he would do to calm himself. Count.
Couldn't talk to the
All
guy
players
next to
do
you.
to come up with the
And
rhythm.
I just kind of sat back and took it all in.
When the smoke clears, it's the Supersonics still standing.
We beat
Was
them.
that exciting?
Oh yeah. One of my classmates, Billy Wilson was his name. He was a big
Get over.
Utah Jazz fan, Carl Malone
I get
fan.
over
I was
John
talking shit with him during the finals the whole time. And we
Heading
were,
back to the finals for the first
that was
time
before
since
texting, and we had cell
1979.
phones to trash talk that way. But every time we go back to school, Kemp whooped your ass.
Who you gonna go against? So that celebration is halted a little bit, man, because you don't want to get too excited because you know that you really got a tall.
So how'd you feel about them coming against the Bulls next?
When I got in the locker room,
I thought this was our year. I thought
What's the
it didn't matter. I
championship
thought
trophy?
we could beat them. I just had a feeling that they were unstoppable that year, the way they were playing.
because
Did they also have Pippen
and I cried.
these
Yeah.
years? Yeah.
Yeah, the Bulls had, Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, who wasn't a good scorer, but he could rebound like crazy. And Tony Kukoc and Luke Longley, and they had a lot of good players. Steve Kerr, he was a great three-point
I
shooter.
think Chicago was sitting at home after having swept somebody, and we were bloody and a little worn out.
I remember Kemp and Rodman battling it out under the basket, for rebounds and
The
stuff.
NBA Finals
I
start
give
Chicago.
Rodman credit; he was a
The
good
Sonics dropped the
rebounder.
first 2 games to a reinvigorated
Kind of
Bulls.
keeping Kemp in check on the rebounds and stuff.
Had this big giant stuffed Red Bull. So I wrote in big white letters on it, "Beat the Bulls." My name is Lauren Bigelow Sandretsky. I've never really known how to answer the question. Why are you
They
Seattle's
made a
biggest
fan
sports
of
fan?
Super.
6'8"
An action
and
figure.
300 plus pounds. I guess that's part of the reason.
We were playing not to lose, but not to win.
On their second run.
I thought they had a chance going in for
Nice.
sure.
I had that basketball card.
As soon as we landed and walked off, it was like we won a championship. And that was the best feeling
They took the Mighty Bulls to 6 games. And for us, that was a win. It felt like we won.
But what the fans and players don't know, there's a lot more on the line in the 1996 NBA Finals than just a trophy, rings, and a banner.
And professional sports is about winning. Winning is what sets everything up for you.
Seattle management, hoping to elevate the good by getting Kemp some help underneath, ends up fueling the bad when they signed a 7'1" center named Jim McElvain to a $35 million contract.
And Jim McElvain was the center in the worst case. He was terrible. And
Yeah, 'cause I don't even really remember that guy.
And that affected Shawn greatly.
I remember Shawn was to be a free agent, and he was not making the big money yet.
The new backup center, who averages 2 points and 3 rebounds per game in '96, will earn approximately $2 million more than the 4-time All-Star who just led the
That's
Sonics in scoring and rebounding. Kemp does his best to shrug it off.
I think that's when he went to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I'd be pissed too. That'd be bullshit.
Yeah.
And you want to play beside All-Stars.
I had told him, we need to wait. Just wait. It's just right now we can't do it in the budget. But we can't break this up. If we're going to try to make a dynasty and do what Chicago Bulls are doing and give us a chance, we have to keep our pieces together.
Anytime that you have a guy that takes the team to a championship and then you start bringing guys in where you pay them more, the team is sending a message.
And we start fighting with the upper management. It's
I
never
guess
a good
they
thing.
start paying you half your worth. You show up to half the
And
practices.
Sean's not a combative guy. He's a human being who wanted to be treated with more appreciation.
He was like a 4-time All-Star, I think you just
But I
said.
can't hate on
You got to pay that
the
guy.
organization.
Especially when that guy they just brought on is terrible stats-wise,
I think
and
bringing Jim McElvain
there's
in
no reason for
really
that.
started the
He
downfall.
denied speculation that he had a drinking problem. He said instead that he has been merely frustrated by his own play.
I don't think drinking and substance abuse was a problem. I believe that
I know he smoked a lot of weed.
You're in Seattle. I mean, it's better than heroin.
That's something that I had to identify. Leaving the city definitely hurt myself. It definitely hurt the team also. But you want people to realize kind of what they lost. And then I think that's what I was able to do.
When we lost Shawn, it was just like, that was, to me, that was the beginning of the end. The Peyton and Kemp dynamic, that was just, you couldn't top that.
Yeah, I kind of wish he would have stayed with Seattle and stuck it out and kept the pieces together. Who knows what could have happened.
Yeah.
He didn't have a lot of other star power in Cleveland to help him when he went to Cleveland.
Iconic players.
I wonder what they offered him money-wise.
I'm not sure.
So I'd be pissed in that situation. But at the same time, it's like if you do have the right pieces and you're that close to winning a championship, I don't know, if you're making over $1 million at least stick it out another year and put that money and invest it and make more on it. I don't know. Because it's still plenty of money. It just sucks in comparison with that other guy that has shitty stats.
Yeah, after Cleveland, I think Kemp got traded to
the next season,
the Magic for a year.
Oh, really?
And then he got traded to Portland Trailblazers for a year. But by that time, he was too big and fat, and he was benched all the time.
When you take me somewhere, say, yo.
All of a sudden, you was in a situation where you were winning 80% of these games, and now you roll the dice, and now you're winning 30% of these games, and you realize that everybody involved made the wrong decision.
The afterglow and continued
The
cultural
downfall
force
of the
iconic
Supersonics.
1996 team inspired a talented crop of future.
Yeah, that was really cool. Where do you find that?
Vice releases these on their YouTube channel.
Oh, I had never seen that, and I usually watch everything there is to watch on that. So, yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing me that.
I'm changing who I am. I'm making